So hello everyone. Today is my topic of presentation, fashioning identity, how Orlando and today's fashion industry challenge gender norms. So here are my personal information, then table of contents. And now my research question is, how does fashion serve as a tool for challenging and redefining gender norms in Orlando and contemporary society? And the hypothesis is fashion is not merely an aesthetic choice, but a powerful medium for deconstructing societal gender norms. Woolf's Orlando and modern gender fluid fashion both demonstrate that clothing influences identity, perceptions, and social treatment that ultimately challenging traditional gender binaries. What this presentation will explore, how Virginia Woolf's Orlando uses fashion to challenge gender norms, then the concept of androgyny and its role in shaping identity, then how fashion reinforces or disrupt gender expectations, then connection between Orlando and modern fluid fashion trend, and some key perspective from the scholars like Burns, Pickford, Kevola, Osofsky, and Presto. Fashion as an identity, clothing and clothing perception and power. In the novel Orlando by Virginia Woolf, we have seen that when he walks up as a female, it is a sudden change, and when she become female at that time also, when she was a male at that time, she was not facing all those problems and hurdle when she become women. Wolves present a gender as a fluid with Orlando's transformation, like it was a sudden transformation. So it shows that gender is a kind of performative, and showing that identity is not bound by any biological but by societal construct. Clothing dictates Orlando's treatment in society. Despite being the same person, Orlando experiences vastly different freedom and restriction as a man and woman, as she faces his inheritance problem of his house. This was not happen with when she was a man. And the hurdles she was facing after becoming woman. The novel critiques that how clothing enforces societal social roles rather than reflecting instinct identity. So this anticipates that today's gender fluid movement, where rigid distinctions between men's and women's clothing are dissolving. So if we see the modern connection, trans, non-binary, and gender fluid identities echo Orlando's shifting self perception, where clothing alters how one is viewed. So fashion is nowadays embracing a gender fluidity, like we many brands moving towards unisex designs, like the dress is unisex, means there is no any boundaries between that this will wear by men, or this will wear by women. Both can wear, there is no relation between the gender. Then for examples, genders, non-conformist artists like Alok Veda Menon emphasizes that fashion should transit rigid gender norms. We see some brands like Gucci, Harris Reed, and Pelemo Spain, that reinforces the idea that identity is a self-defined rather than dictated by tradition. If we see the origin of and evolution of androgyny word, it is from ancient Greek to modern psychology. Term is originated from ancient Greek word androgynous, that meaning having both male and female characteristics. And then, while the concept of androgyny has ancient root, but the term androgyny as a psychological construct, and the person who first popularized it is Sandra Bem in the early 1970. So Orlando and power of androgyny. So Woolf present a gender as a fluid, showing that identity is shaped by society, not biology. Orlando's treatment changes based on clothing despite being the same person. So this shows that how society is treating when gender is changed. So the novel critiques that attires enforces social roles rather than reflecting instinct identity. And we have seen that modern connections like here artist Alok Menon and Harris Reed and Gucci's examples are here. So androgyny as a lifestyle, if we see, so androgyny is more than a fashion trend, because it is shifting, or it is representing the cultural shift and the perceptions of people towards the identity of a particular person. It's represent the cultural shift towards authenticity and self expression. So rigid gender roles limit our individuality, while gender fluid fashion challenges binary norms. And unisex uniforms and other brands like Telfar echoes Lata, and other celebrities like Jendia, Jardin Smiths, Harry Styles. They all are this all normalize gender fluid style in a mainstream fashion. So fashion as a tool for gender liberation today, we can see this lens also. So if we take up one Indian example of a film like PK, so it is also questioning like PK is an outsider alien who does not understand human-made customs, and including gender clothing and all these things, but with naive yet profound questioning of why things are the way they are, mirrors how fashion can be tool to deconstruct the challenge, deconstruct and challenge societal norms. So it is much like the Virginia Woolf's Orlando does in literature. If we see the example of Ranveer Singh, also she also many times wears the wear the clothes of gender fluids also. But here question is also that he's wearing all the days, he's just for kind of promotion and all the things, though that question also relevant. And if we see the politics of fashion, like who gets to define gender. So Orlando critiques that who has the power to define gender norms, clothing, and society or individual. This is the question which can arise. And then other discussion question like, if gender is performance, should fashion brands be leading the movement or individual? So both the fashion brands and individuals should play a role to this transformation or shifting cultural view. So here one example of this Gippius. He's a Russian writer. He's defined gender norms shifting from masculine to exaggerated feminine style. Her fashion mirrored her political defines, opposing both Tsarist and Soviet rules. So, in a conclusion, we can say that Virginia Woolf's Orlando and modern fashion both reveal that identity is a fluid, shaped by our societal expectation rather than biology. So, key perspective of Burns, then Pickford, then it connects that Orlando to androgyny and camp aesthetics, showing fashion as a tool for gender discourse, where clothing is a central to self definition. So Osofsky also reinforces that androgyny is not just a style but a cultural shift. Together, this perspective show that fashion is both a reflection of a identity and a force that actively reshape it. So here are my references. Thank you. If you have any question, feel free to ask.
So, Trupti, my question is what roles does the historical context play in shaping the gender roles, gender norms Orlando encounters?
So basically, when Orlando, in different ages we have seen. So before he was before she was a man, she was treated differently, and after also she was treated differently. So it shows that it is a societal made thing. So it signifies is that.
So, Trupti, my question is how does Woolf use Orlando's clothing to question the rigidity of gender roles?
It shows that it also defines that our gender, but identity should be a main focus rather than the changing thing. So by just sudden change from or transformation from men to women, it sudden change also showing that it is just a thing. We should be our focus should be main on the person's identity rather than the gender bias thing. So clothing plays the significant role in that also. Okay, thank you.